Things have changed a lot in the years. The Be Quiet light-based PC case features a flippable design for either an upright or lay-flat orientation, cable trays and covers, and supports newer backside connector motherboards for a super clean build. Sleek and minimalistic design with integrated RGB lighting offers tasteful design cues, and radiators up to 420 millimeters are supported in the light-based 900 model. To see the full list of specs of the Be Quiet light-based 600 and 900, follow the link in the description below. All right, continuing on with our retro gaming PC build series. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and you guys are obviously enjoying watching it. You guys have told me so. Man, it's so fun kind of remembering the nuances. Anyway, I said in that video that I was going to now not retire the Nobilis, but that system's gonna stay together in that era. That's like 2005 and older capable PC, as far as I'm concerned. So I built, well, I'm about to build, and hopefully this stuff works, an entirely new platform. And I reached out to you guys and was like, if you guys have any cool old hardware, please reach out to me. Man, did you guys blow up my inbox. I appreciate all the offers that I got. Obviously, I couldn't respond to even a fraction of them, but I ended up finding the stuff I wanted on eBay. I'll be honest, I looked through a lot of the stuff that I was being offered, and it just wasn't what we needed to be able to get to like Crysis. People were going older than the stuff that we had already talked about. And maybe we'll go that direction at some point. Maybe we'll build like a 486 system with a 5.25 floppy drive and play some, like one of my favorite games growing up was Aces Over the Pacific and Aces Over Europe, which was a dogfighting World War II games. I love, and that ran on like a 486, right? So maybe we'll go that route, but today we needed to go forward. So here's what I actually scored. And in my opinion, it is, if it works, both said from reputable sellers that have, some of them have, the guy that sold me the GPU, which is in here, had several hundred feedback in the like 99.8% positive range. And then this is a PC recycler type dismantler sort of store. And this one has like 10,500 feedback at 100%, which is like, how often do you see and hear that? So I was like, okay, chances are it probably works pretty good. All right, graphics card, are you ready? This card came out in late 2010. Now remember, we are aiming to play Crysis, the original Crysis. That came out in 2007. But as we know, the Cry engine was so poorly optimized, you had to really overpower your specs to get that game to run at like 60 FPS. I never owned this card, but I really wanted to. I did own this model card, but it was a reference style from EVGA though. You ready? This is wrapped up even more. This is a GTX 580 Asus DCU2. This was like the most baller thing for its time. It was one of the first like, oh my God, the cooler is comically funny to look at. It's dirty, but yeah. Like to think that this was overbuilt baller cooling for the era. So this was a pretty sick graphics card for its era. That's the 6800 GT. This is the one that we're putting in now, which clearly is baller. And this is what Asus has today. The cooling was like so over-designed, but there's nothing touching the RAM on that. And there's barely anything touching the VRM. That heatsink right there, like that's going across the power delivery, is not even touching the main cooler. As you can see, they're like separate, right? So the main cooler is just floating. It's a heat pipe design with just a copper heat pipe. And this has been repasted, I'm assuming, by the amount of stuff that's oozing out of the side. It looks like a gigabyte card. Anyway, yeah, the DCU2 or the direct copper unit was pretty baller for its time. But let's set that aside. I'm excited, I hope that works. But I had to come up with a platform that was something that was gonna get the job done. Where did I put my knife? Oh, that was gonna get the job done. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I paid for that. Okay, I paid $180 for this, okay? I paid $80 for that. 180, 80. What I have right here is a CPU, a motherboard, and 20 gigabytes of DDR3. That is so overkill. Phil's like, how the heck do you get 20? Don't worry, it'll make sense. Well, here's the problem. It's missing a stick, which is how we're getting 20. And I think that's gonna put our multi-channel system into a single channel mode, which is not gonna be doing us any favors. You know why I'm excited for this? Let me tell you why I'm excited for this. When this platform released, I could not even dream of affording it. So being able to experience it today is gonna be a lot of fun. I don't think they should have let this. It's an EVGA GT440.
Randomly gave you a GPU?
There's a GPU with it.
Cool.
Not that it could do anything except give us a picture. All right. This is an X58 Intel Extreme platform with an i7 960. 3 gigahertz CPU, 4-core, 8-thread, with 20 gigs of RAM because one stick is missing. Otherwise, we would have 24 gigs of RAM. Now, here's the thing. This is a triple channel motherboard. So what happens is if you have a multi-channel motherboard back in this era and you don't have exact pairs, what it does is it then switches to a single channel mode where it then just shares all the RAM in that single channel. So I think, and these are 4 gigabyte sticks, right? Because I got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So I think it actually makes more sense for me to remove sticks from the other channels. That way they're matched, 4 gigabytes per channel, and have 12 gigabytes of system RAM instead of a triple channel, instead of having 20 gigabytes of single channel. That's what's gonna make the most sense, I think. But check it out. You wanna talk about cool for the era. This is XMS3 DDR3 from Corsair. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these because I do want to run these in triple channel, not 20 gigabytes of single channel. So now we just have some extra DDR3, which could be useful for future projects. It just kind of sucks. It's like, man, where's the other stick? 2, 4, 5. It's like, why? This cooler, in my opinion, is not gonna cut it because like I said, this is an i7 960. There's only one CPU higher than that, which is the i7 970. But the 960, to go over the specs, like now you can see we are definitely trying to really just give Crysis a run for its money, right? The specs of the i7 960, it's 3.2 gigahertz with a 3.466 boost, 4-core, 8-thread, 130 watts. Isn't it crazy that that was the top, almost top, like 970 was the top. And this came out October 20th, 2009 is when it came out. So what we're gonna have to do, obviously we need to make sure this works. We need to, check it out, SATA. So now we don't have to worry about the stupid adapter, right? So now we need to make sure that we can get drivers and stuff for it. But it's a pretty clean board. It's an Asus P6X58D-E. Look how clean that board is. It's a little kind of dirty right here. And they did give me the, I thought they gave me the, I guess I don't have an IO shield. I thought I had an IO shield. Oh yeah, it's right here. Still in the package, never unpackaged. Okay, sure. I guess they could have. Cooler wise though, so there's a couple cheats here. I think I'm gonna take that, maybe the Hyper 212 if it'll fit, because we're gonna throw it in that chassis right there. The problem with all the case, I was just gonna use a cheap case that we have for today. None of them have 5 1/4 drive bays. So we need to use something that has a 5 1/4 drive bay, and that is Phil's old system right there. Let's take a look in that, because I'm curious if this has the Q9450 or whatever it is that Phil was talking about potentially having. It's got a motherboard and it's got a,
oh yeah, it is that.
Yeah, that is it. So we have a backup plan if something doesn't work. All right, well, I'm just gonna throw it all in here and let's see if it works. And I need to see if the Hyper 212 will even clear the height of this. I don't think it will.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm stuck using the Intel Downfire cooler. Oh, I forgot to tell you what I paid for that. Phil, what do you think I paid for this?
$100 for the whole bundle?
I paid $82.99. That's
So
right,
basically the same
$65. There was a different X58 that had a 950 in it. No, I had a 930 CPU, I think it was. And I was like, no, I want the higher end one. But still, $82 for this. And then, yeah, the graphics card was $87. Okay, so I was off a little bit. Still, $87
That's crazy.
plus $82, $169 for this upgrade. The whole upgrade is cheaper than this was. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna leave it together. I guess I could check the pace on this guy though. Let's do that real quick. So, yeah, it's a good thing I'm checking that. This cooler does not make a good enough contact. I do need to look and see though, potentially if we have a lower profile cooler that'll fit that. But let's make sure I got what I paid for, right? That's probably a good place to start. Should we check pins? Hey, pins look perfect. Look at that. It's literally just the pretty part. Like this part. Ah!
Yeah, I told you.
So I can't even describe how excited I am right now to put this card in. I wanted this card so badly back then, but I just couldn't afford it. You gotta understand, when I built my PC back then, every dollar mattered. And yeah, I borrowed the money from my dad to build my system that had the 580, which is what I had when I started YouTube. So yeah, I owed my dad money and I had to pay him back for that. And so every dollar mattered. 70 extra dollars was a problem, you know? Look at that. Dude, it's...
To everyone with a 12-volt high power, this looks familiar, huh? That's freaking funny.
It works. So I could literally just... And now we'll know how much power it's drawing. Boop. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy right now. Yes, I even took the time to cable manage it, mostly. But I still think it's so hilarious as a wide view on here, just to... Okay, anyway.
That GPU sag is so cracking me up.
I know, you know, I would have taken Here, I'll fix that right now, hold on. There.
Yeah, close enough.
Fixed. Yay!
Nice.
Also, to talk about the RAM real quick, we did see in the manual that I could run another stick in the first channel and still stay in triple channel. If I added another stick but didn't occupy that sixth one, it would go into single channel. So if I wanted, I could go 16 gigs of RAM, but it would be 8 gigs on the first channel and 4 on channel 2 and channel 3, which I think is interesting. But I think 12 gigs for the era is plenty, because 8 gigs was like what we needed back then. All right, so we need to now get the OS installed. I guess we just need to burn it to, we won't be able to do it on Ventoy, but because of the era of the PC, we're gonna go Windows 7 on this one. Crysis does work on Windows 7, and all the newer games are gonna pretty much need like Windows 7 and potentially even Windows 10 or 8 or whatever. So, but we're probably not gonna go too much newer than where we are now. I think when we're done with this PC era, we'll probably go backwards. Maybe we'll go all the way back to, like I said, 486, and maybe we'll find like an Apple II and do some like Oregon Trail and crap like that. But first we need to get this OS running, but I'm so happy it all works, and I can't believe it was less expensive, $169. All right, after like an hour, Windows 7 is finally installed. It took forever to unpack the files off of the disk and then
I felt going old school with the driver installers, because why not, right?
Anyway, so. Oh my God. So yeah, getting everything set up took so long, we ordered Japanese food for lunch. I got gyoza, Phil got sushi, I also got some, or gyoza and karage.
And a pork belly bun.
Pork belly, because we're fat. So anyway.
To feed our pork bellies.
MSI Afterburner is now installed. Hey, remember when voltage control was actually voltage control? The clock is currently at 782 megahertz. I'm gonna go ahead and make that like 850.
Even the clock was just clock, it wasn't an offset.
Yeah, it's actual just clock.
This is typed in what you wanted, so nice.
Yeah, because GPU Boost first came out in like 600 series, like 680 and 660 and all that. So you can actually type in what you want on here, which is pretty cool. So I just went and made it like 850. GPU is currently idling at 27 degrees. That good old DCU2 right there. Okay, Crysis is installed, chipsets are installed, CPU-Z is installed, XMP is running 1333 megahertz. It's going 3.4 gigahertz at boost on the CPU. Let's see what happens next. And I'm gonna be a barbarian and I'm gonna eat gyoza with nothing to dip it in. Options, and see what it autoed us at, shall we? high.
Hey.
Remember last time we simply tried to turn on,
low, yeah.
we tried to turn on high and the system hung. Phil has a,
Yo, one frame.
oh yeah.
Moved. We've had one frame in 3 minutes.
I would say we defeated Crysis so far, at least right here on the beach. 109 FPS. Now when I move around, like if I look up, 200 almost. If I look down, 136. If I look out there, 117. Dude, I'll be honest, I don't remember it running this good back then. But I gotta believe it, I'm looking right at it, and
Yeah.
it's not like there was any updates applied to this. We don't even have the internet hooked up to this PC. This is literally off the disk.
So at first we tried it with a computer that was 2 years older than the game. Now we're trying it with a computer.
And that was the minimum specs with the exception of the CPU being about 400 megahertz too slow, but I don't think that would have helped. We definitely had some RAM stuff going on too, because we had barely the minimum amount of RAM. Remember last time I turned the corner because it lagged so bad I walked right into the dude?
Yeah.
Eh.
Hey, I did it!
Ah. Oh.
Dang.
Well, obviously this one can play Crysis. I'm wondering what other games we should play. Like, ooh, that's so warm. I don't think this is where this PC should end. I mean, this was the goal. We made it. But what other games from this era do you guys think we should try? Oh, shit. Okay, well, I want to know what other games you guys think we should play. Probably Battlefield 3 would be a fun one to play on this again, to be honest. And those there are still servers up, so we could potentially do that one even online. All right, time to get out of here. I'm glad that the system is up and running. I can't believe it's working.
Ooh, we should get some Left 4 Dead going.
Yes. I am shocked at what I got this system for. $169. Now, granted, I didn't have to buy the power supply, the case, the drive, or that's it, I guess, everything else. But I could have probably put the whole thing together for under $250 if I had to buy the case and the power supply and the drive, to be honest. But it just goes to show you don't have to spend $1 million or even $1,500 to play games. Like, I think this would still handle some modern games just fine as long as we stepped up the graphics card to maybe like a because I have a 980 Ti, and I think that was gonna be the next thing I was gonna throw in here, but leaving this all the same. And then I think that would be a pretty killer system to play most games that were worth playing, in my opinion. Like Portal, so many like modern games right now kind of suck, to be honest. Like Battlefield 6 I've been having fun with as long as I can kind of stay within the perimeters of the way I enjoy playing the game. Like I don't care about the Battle Royale, like I'm not gonna play Gauntlet or any of that shit. I don't care about that. Honestly, there's so many modes I just don't like. I don't like the new map. But I just stick to the modes I like Breakthrough, Rush, and Conquest on like Firestorm and all these other maps that I like. But anyway, I do need to get out of here. It is technically Halloween while we're filming this, and got to get, obviously trick-or-treating done with the kids. That way I can dad tax it and poison check and, all that stuff. I may or may not actually be dressing up and scaring the neighborhood, but that's fine. That's for another day. But please, sound off in the comments below what games you think we should play with this. And I am so... It's funny, I literally showed you, I have an Astral sitting back there on the table, right there. And I am more excited the fact that I got to finally acquire this GPU, which I wanted so badly back in the day. Like, to me, I'm having more fun, and it means more to me to have this than that Astral, if you want to know the truth. But anyway, I've been stalling this ending enough. Time to get out of here. I'm excited to have this, even with the pencil standoff, because it's probably something I would have actually done back then.